Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name's NaturesAdmiral. This is going to be my channel where I'm going to be creating vlogs, hopefully for a while to come. They're going to focus primarily on environmental issues and what's transpiring in the news, in the UN, the newspapers, Facebook, internet, all that stuff. I'm going to compile stories and I'm going to present them to you, taking into account my opinions and how I think we should go about preserving our planet, because I personally am known for being a huge environmentalist. My nickname in high school was actually Wolf Boy, so that says a little bit something about my personality. I won't be bringing that up much though, because, well, sounds weird. Anyways, a little bit off track, but let's get back on the topic. In my vlog, I'm going to be presenting to you stories about each and every continent, and its struggle with the environment. The environment and its struggle with us. To start off with, I'm going to be presenting to you in my next video a story about climate change creating a new type of refugee. In our world at this point in time, it's imperative that we start thinking about our world. Not just about ourselves as a population. How can I make more money? How can I succeed? How can I get my name to be remembered? Because at this point in time, that's not the important thing. At this point in time, the important thing is to preserve our planet so that future generations can have that right to think, how's my name going to go down in history? How's this going to affect me? How am I going to affect the world? We have a crucial role to play at this very point in time with our planet, because I don't believe there's ever been a generation that's been so much more needed, because at the rate we're continuing, in 10 years, in 20 years, in 50 years, we may not be the same society we were today. We may be crumbling at the edges, crumbling in the center. We may be looking at such horrible changes to our world that we can no longer survive. We already see it today in our society. I'm not even 20 years old yet. I'm actually only 17, going to be 18 next month. And even me, I've already been able to see a huge number of changes in our world. I remember 3-4 years ago, we always had bees. Bees were always present in my life. Every day from spring to fall, I would see bees here and there. And then I noticed in the past year, in the past 2 years, we haven't been seeing bees. Last summer, I counted the bees I saw. I got to 5. That's unheard of. You should never only be able to count 5 bees in a year. It's ridiculous. I think about it and I see wasps, I see hornets, I see every kind of bug imaginable. But the bees are gone. They're virtually non-existent anymore. Sure, they're still present, but we don't see them as much anymore. And that's a major concern to us. You can check out one of my friend's websites, Operation Bee. I've actually got annoyed at him on multiple occasions for spamming people, but he's working at the moment to fight for the bees, because, in truth to tell, we need the bees. We cannot survive without them. Without the bees, we would lose something like 2/3 of our food supply. Everything that's grown, we'd lose 2/3 of it. We'd be stuck down to things like wheat and water for our meals. Wheat, water, and meat. That's it. So you can check out his website, Operation B. I'll post a link somewhere eventually. But back onto the topic of change. In our world, change is constant. Things are always changing. Things are going from this to that to this. But it's to the point now where the change is no longer a good change. Our world can evolve on its own. It can adapt to situations, adapt to circumstance. But the way we're treating it, it doesn't have that power of adaptation anymore. Now it's in trouble because it cannot adapt as quickly as we're forcing it to. We're cutting down trees at a rate faster than ever before. Our population is booming more than it's ever done before. The baby boomers are nothing to compare to our society now. In 10 years, we've gone from 6 billion as a population to 7 billion. It's estimated that by the end of 2011, we will have a population of 7 billion. Back in 1830, I think it was, we only had a population of 1 billion. Think, in that 200-year span, we've increased by 6 billion. That's impossible to conceive, but it's there. It's relevant now. So this is my vlog dedicated to informing the world of the environmental changes and how we need to approach them and work to preserve our environment, because, face it, at this rate, our society is going to be non-existent in 10 years, 20 years, 50 years. In 1,000 years, if we continue the way we're going, there will be no human society left. Sure, there may be remnants, a few humans here and there, a few nomad settlements, but that's going to be all. We're going to be nothing compared to the glory we are now. We as a society think ourselves high, mighty. We think of ourselves as outside of the environment, as the environment outside of us. But in reality, that's far from true. If you're religious and you believe full-heartedly in the creationism, think about it. God created us, and God created the environment. That makes us virtually the same thing. If you don't believe in religion, and you believe in evolutionism instead, we came from the environment. The environment created us. We adapted, we expanded our horizons. So once again, we are deeply connected to the environment. And no matter what you say, the environment's a pleasant force, and we rely on it so heavily. In fact, we could not have a society. We could not have an economy or buildings or roads or any of that without the environment. And yet now we're taking that for granted, and we're destroying our home, our mother. We're killing the bosom that nurtured us from infancy into our more teenage stage now. I don't think we can, as a society, call ourselves adult yet, because we're still in that vandalism, break all laws mentality. We are ripping the forest apart. We are destroying species. We're causing extreme harm to our planet. And that's very similar to teenagers of today vandalizing walls, breaking windows, breaking the laws of society. And we are not ready to call ourselves adult yet. Even the adults of the society, they're more willing to accept responsibility, but even them, they're not 100% ready to be called adult yet. So there are places in our world where people more likely can call themselves adult. Ancient times, for example, they had more right to call themselves adult then than we do now, because they didn't take the world for granted. They used everything. If they killed an animal, they used the meat, they used the bones, they used the marrow, they used the tusks, they used... Everything could be made into something. Everything could be used. Now we don't see that. We kill thousands of cows, we butcher them just so we can get the prized slabs of meat, and then we discard everything else. However, there are still societies in our world today. In the Amazon, for example, there are thousands of tribes that are still pretty much untouched by humanity. And when we do venture into those tribes, into those cultures, and we ask them, what's it like living within the forest? They look at you like you're on some crazy kind of drug. They don't have a word for forest, because to them, they are the forest. They're part of it. The forest is part of them. They cannot survive without it, and we don't have that same affection. We don't have that same respect for the environment. So this is going to end my first vlog. I'm just going to leave you on the note that I'm going to bring you another shortly. In fact, quite possibly on the same day. So expect another vlog from me shortly, and I'm going to bring to you the first story on climate change and how it's creating a new type of refugee. So welcome to my channel. Hoping to see a lot more of you, and hope you see a lot more of me. Hope my vlog's longer lasting. And I'm going to post a HTML link in the bar somewhere down there or around, and it's going to link you to my friend's website, Operation B. So see you again soon, and until then, have fun, have a great day.